I went on 2 dates with this guy, and already by the second one, I knew that I was never going to see him again. Never ever again. Not because he did something crazy or obvious, but because of the small thing, the small red flags, the things that most women would definitely miss or ignore. I realized that he was performative, low effort, and honestly didn't respect women at all. And the scary part is, if I didn't know what to look for, I would have probably missed all of that. So in this video, I'm not just going to tell you what happened and spill the tea, but also how I spotted all the red flags and how I tested him, and obviously how I dumped him. And this isn't to bash him, but this is for you so that you don't waste your time like this. Let's go, girlies! So let's start from the very beginning of how we met. Me myself, I'm a person that doesn't use any type of dating apps. Nothing. Not because I hate them, it's just like it doesn't suit me. So all the people that I've ever is through real life only. So this guy is the same also. When I was going to a supermarket to get some groceries in the morning, and he just came up to me and started to compliment my tattoos. So obviously I was being nice to him. I say thank you. We just have like a little chat, and then he asked for my info. So that's how we met, and that's how I gave him my contacts. And this is when the first ever red flag come from him, from the very beginning already. So during our chat, he asked me, what do I do? What is my job? And I'm going to say something, I know this is very controversial, but this is so effective and you need to try this. I learned this from Russell Hartley. So whenever a man asks you, what do you do? What's your job? You say to him, I'm a gold digger. Make it like so natural, you know? So just to see how he responds. So that is exactly what I told him from the very beginning already. I didn't tell him my job was content creator, but I told him that I'm a gold digger. You need to trust me on this. Their response say a lot about them and what type of person that they are. So this guy's response was, oh, you're a gold digger? I don't have any money. I will translate it for you. He's saying that, oh, I don't have anything to offer you. I'm a low effort guy. Don't expect anything much from me. That's what he's saying. Actually, I've tried this 2 times with this guy that we're talking about. It's like the second time, and the result is like so crazy true. So if he gets really defensive and really offensive from that sentence, it says everything that you need to know about him. He's basically setting the bar so low. He's basically saying that I don't have anything to offer you, to give you, because he's so offensive. He's so defensive about that. But actually, the first time that I tested this sentence, the first guy, he was like just laughing about it. He didn't take this so serious. We only took this as a joke, and he wasn't being offensive or defensive about this at all. If a man is generous and he has a good sense of humor, he would never take this question so serious and getting all defensive like that. A man who makes money wouldn't care that you're a gold digger. And in fact, you don't have to be afraid saying this because you're not a gold digger. That's why you're just saying this to test them, to test their generosity and to test what kind of a man he is. Let's get back to this guy. So after he said that, I already knew that, oh my god, I'm dealing with a low effort guy. Let's see, oh my god, let's see how far you can go. Let's see. And also because this is like the second time I've tested this question, I really want to know that, is this really true or not? I want to test my theory. So that's why I continue texting him to see how far he can go. Moving on to the next red flag, you have to see how they text you. So this guy, after we have exchanged our contacts, he was using ChatGPT to text me. Oh my god. To me, it's so funny, you know? Like, where's your basic social skill? You cannot even text a woman without using any types of technology. Can you just like normally text? And it's not like we're debating or doing a studied research anyway. It's just normal conversations. Like, because me myself, I'm a content creator, I use ChatGPT a lot also for my work and also for personal reasons, as a friend that I talk to, and also for therapy. It's really helpful. So that's why I know how ChatGPT sounds like. Sometimes their text and their messages are like really perfect. If you don't know how to tweak it, it's going to sound really robotic. Instantly, this guy was using ChatGPT to text me, which is unacceptable. I wouldn't say this is a red flag, a yellow flag. I don't like it. This guy lacks social skill. Not for me. So after chatting for a while, he asked me about basic questions like, what do you do in your free time and what do you enjoy? I also keep the conversation going, just normally texting, nothing much. So after a week or something, he asked me to go on a date. I call this phase the first date initiation. So basically what happened is that when he initiated the first date, it wasn't a proper date because he was like, you know, we can walk around, going on a walking date and ordering food food online, and I was like, what? No way. No walking date is unacceptable. He was trying to test me with low effort dates, trying to test my boundary and my standards, what I'm okay with. And instantly, this gave me the ick. I was feeling so icky. Like, from where could a guy take us women out on a first date and go on a walking date and ordering food online? Are they out of their minds? Like, they don't even respect us women anymore, you know? And guys, they always do this. They always try to test what you're okay with, going lower than the standard and test if you're okay with it or not. So never say yes to this. Have your standards. So back to the story. After this guy initiated the walking day, I was like, I don't really do that kind of stuff. I would like to be taken on a proper sit-down dinner date. And immediately after I stated my standard and my boundary, he immediately fixed it. He was recommending a restaurant, and yeah, finally we got to that point of going on a dinner date, a sit-down dinner date at a restaurant, not a pathetic walking date for a first date. The next phase is the first date phase. I'm going to spill you 100 red flags and how I spotted these red flags. So on the first date, of course, me myself, I went on this date looking really pretty, really put together, and my outfit, my hair, everything was on. The makeup was I was looking really presentable for this date. And then I arrived to the place that we agreed on, and I saw him there already there. So this was good about him. He was on time. He was just wearing basic clothes, put together, like nothing much. Because for me, a guy's appearance, no matter how handsome or how hot a guy looks, couldn't impress me anymore. Like, and it's not the quality that I'm looking for in a man. So we're not going to talk about that much. So ordering the food, everything was normal. The conversation was going on pretty well. And then this is the next red flag, which is so disgusting. So there was a question. He asked me, what types of humor do I like? And I said to him, like, I don't really care about that. If I find something funny, I'm just going to find it funny and laugh about it. I don't have any specific types of like humor. My answer were normal, right? But when I asked him back, like, so how about you? And this part is like, oh, give me the egg instantly. He was listing his list of humor types: dark jokes, relationship jokes, and every type of other jokes, but I don't really remember. This is okay, you know? But the last thing that he said is sex jokes. I was like, ugh. I know that sex jokes exist, but mentioning it to me, that's not good. We've known each other for like, what, an hour in real life, and you've already telling me that you're into sex jokes. Like, okay, imagine that we can let this line. But then later on, he actually made a sex joke to me, which is honestly so disgusting. He was saying, wait, I'm very gentle with women unless they want me to be rough. Ew, like, why would you tell me a sex joke? It made me so uncomfortable. Because me, myself, I have this non-negotiable. And listen, you should have this too. My non-negotiable is that the guy should never, ever mention anything sexual related at all. So no sex jokes, no anything sexual related, no sexual topics, none of those, okay? Because I tell you, if a guy really likes you, he would be afraid to even mention or say anything about these sexual topics. He wouldn't want you to think that he's approaching you for your body. So that's why he wouldn't have the courage to mention that. But this guy, ew, for me, that's a no-no. That's a big no. The next thing that gave me the ick and his big ass red flag is about this. So we were talking, right? And very casually, he mentioned, oh, like, I am this old, and he told me his age. I was like, okay, yeah, like nothing, you know? And then he was asking me, oh, how old am I? And I haven't even told him my age yet. And he started guessing. So his guesses were, are you 20? Are you 18? Are you 17? Are you 17? He was mentioning the number 17, an underage number. So in my head, I was like, ew, this is so disgusting. This guy is so disgusting. Is he trying to actively seeking for minors? Is he trying to look for young girls, underage girls? Is he a pedophile? You know, because I know that he was like saying this as a joke only, but this joke says a lot about him. Why would you guess my age that young? Like, I wanted to vomit right there. Oh my god. So this is my answer, and listen to me carefully because you should write down this answer also. I learned this from Shara 7. The answer is, oh, don't worry, I'm old enough to be here, or I'm legal to be here. That's what you should say to men when they ask you how old are you. Very normal and very confident. You don't tell men how old are you. You don't tell them your full name. You don't tell them your full resume. They don't need to know about that. What have they done to earn that information from you? Nothing. So that's why keep yourself mysterious, and especially about your age. age, because they will take advantage of you one way or another if they know your age. But actually, just to tell you girlies, I am old enough to be there. Actually, I'm not just like saying, but it is the truth. So the next event is that he asked me, what am I looking for? What are you looking for? This question is normal, but you have to answer it in a certain way. So actually, there are two ways that you can try to answer this question. So I haven't tried the other one, but the one I tried when he asked me was, I'm looking for a gentleman who knows how to treat a lady right, who's not selfish and be generous when it's appropriate. So in general, a man who can impress me. That's what I said. Actually, I learned this from Cheryl 7 also. She's a queen. She has so many good answers to these typical questions. But I'm going to explain you the good side and the bad side here to this answer that you're giving him. The good side is you're setting your boundaries, you're stating your standards and expectations early on. But the bad side is he hears this, right? And then he can try to perform, he can try to copy doing this action to court you only. So to perform is to fake these good behaviors to make you believe that he's a good guy. But there are ways to figure this out and see that his actions are genuine or is it performative or not. I'll tell you later. So the second way that I know that you can answer this is I'll know when I see it. That's it. Very simple. There's no bad sign to this answer because he can't fake it. He won't know what you like. He won't know how to fake it to court you. You can try it and let me know how that goes in the comment, okay? So why am I telling you about these answers that we should answer but not actually like listing what we're looking for and all the things? Because very likely they will try to catch what we're looking for and try to perform these actions just to fake it, to sleep with you, to get your body. That's it. Why you shouldn't say exactly what you're looking for. You shouldn't say like, oh, I'm looking for a guy that does this, that, a guy who doesn't smoke, a guy who doesn't drink, a guy who doesn't go to parties and everything like that. Don't do that. You will see it. You have to look for his actions and see which kind of person he is. Don't say what you prefer. Just look for him. Like, is he already that kind of person that you're looking for? Because he won't change for you. He won't change. And then decide for yourself, is this the type of person that I like or not? The next red flag in him that I see. So he asked me, why haven't you been getting into any new relationships for the past year? So my answer is, I'm selective. Before I take any man seriously, I need to know if they can provide for me or not. I say that. That's my answer. And you should write that down because that answer, it will help you to filter the actual provider guys and the fake dusty guys. When I say that, he asked me, what does it mean when I say provide? It's like, ew, you know? Because a real provider man, he wouldn't ask you that. What does it mean providing? He would understand. So obviously this guy doesn't have anything to offer me. That's a red flag. The next red flag is when we were talking, he mentioned that he was married and then eventually divorced. So I asked him, what was the reason you and your ex-wife divorced? So he told me the reason was he was close with female co-workers. He didn't say that sentence, okay? He was just saying like his work required him to be close and friendly with female co-workers. But I'm just going to sum it up to you. And his wife didn't like it. But the whole time he was mentioning about this, he was only making excuses like, oh, his work requires him to be like this, and his ex-wife was being so crazy and so unreasonable. The whole time he was talking about all of these excuses and all of these reasons why the divorce came. He never ever mentioned from his place, from his mistake. What did he do wrong? He never saw his problem. He didn't have any self-awareness. He only talked about how crazy and how unreasonable his ex-wife was. This is his red flag. You have to notice how the guy talks about his past partners or his past girlfriends, anything like that. This is very important. The way they talk about that and the way they explain to you why it ended says a lot about them. Says if they have self-awareness or not. So if he mentioned his part of the problem or what did he also do wrong, it means that he has emotional depth, he has self-awareness, he's aware about his problem and he's not afraid to admit that. And also the guy who says that his ex was crazy, no, the same lie, oh, my ex was crazy, you instantly cut that guy off. The next red flag is that he showed signs about aggressive behaviors. He just said to me like when he was younger he used to get into a lot of fights. That also sounds very off for me. I wouldn't prefer a guy who get into fights and ew, you know, like no. The next red flag about him is that he showed me signs of performative controlling behaviors. So basically if a man look at you too long or say say things to you, I don't mind fighting him. I can fight him. This might sound like he's protective and he's like will protect you in danger, but to me, a man who can protect you, he won't yap about how he protects you. He will just do it when it's needed. So this guy, it gave off a vibe like he's performative. He's trying too hard to make you feel, oh, he's this strong guy who protects you. That's just also very ill, because real men, they won't yap. They show you actions. That's what they're gonna do. Not yap about how he's gonna protect you when a man comes to you. So that's the end of the first date. For me, it's already enough to stop there from the first date, because I've seen through his mask already. I've seen way too many red flags about him, but I want to find out how far could this guy go to keep on performing, and how many more red flags can this guy reveal to me. So that's why I agreed to go on a second date around 3 weeks later. So the second day came, and again I met him. Surprisingly, this time it feels nicer because I've already figured this guy out, so I feel like nothing can surprise me anymore, you know. Like, bring it on, I'm gonna see right through you again. So the first thing that is like a big red flag, I've mentioned this before, but he was like always mentioning 2 or 3 times something that he likes rough things and he is a kinky person, or he likes kinky experience. And again, it touched my non-negotiable of never mentioning anything sexual related. It just gave me a really weird vibe. How can he feel comfortable enough to say those things to me on a second date? Ugh, it made me so uncomfortable. So on that date, I was wearing black clothes, like all black clothes, black top, black boots, black shorts, and everything black. And I did my makeup in a certain way. You know what I usually do? It's like a little bit special in my unique style. He kept on idealizing me to be this kinky, like things rough out girl based on my appearance and what I wear in my makeup. That's honestly so disgusting, and he even had the confidence to say it out loud. So you yourself, you have to notice how he compliments you, the way that he talks about you, how he talks about you. Like, does he compliment your personality, your values, and your mindset, your lifestyle, or he just keeps on talking about how you look or how hot you are and kind of like sexualizing you and idealizing you? Be careful for that. And eventually I perform a test on him. This is a generosity test to see if he is generous or not. So in our conversations, I've mentioned like a few times that I really like reading books. I spend a lot of my time reading books, and it's my hobby. So later on, when we left the restaurant and we decided to walk around, and eventually we found this bookstore, and we came in and we were like, you know, walking around the bookstore, talking, discussing about books and everything. At this moment, I picked up a book and I say to him, I really like this book. Can you pay for it? Just very normal, exactly like that tone and that facial expression. I sensed hesitation from him, but eventually he still decided to pay. So that was icky. He gave up performative vibe. He's pretending to be generous, not actually inside, deep down, a generous man. I instantly felt that. From this experience, I want to tell you girlies that if you really like something and you mention it to him, a man, if he really likes you, you wouldn't have to say it like twice or even initiate it for him to get you something. Like, you know, it's just a small book. It doesn't cost much. It's something that I like. If he really likes me, he would get that for me already. He would ask me, offer that to me already. I myself, I can pay for that, but I wanted to test him. Imagine he cannot even give to me such a small book. How is he going to be a provider man? And then here comes the performative behavior from him. After he has done paying for the book and we walked out of the bookstore, he said to me, I bought you the book as a gift, and you know what? I don't expect anything back from you. I heard that and it gave me the ick instantly. Like, oh my god, what kind of a guy are you? Let me explain why is this sentence says that he is a performative man. If a guy does something for you, like give you something, he wouldn't try to take credit for that. He wouldn't try so hard to say, oh, I did that for you, I did this for you, and you know what? I don't expect anything back from you. He tries so hard to be this type of guy, that the good guy, you know, he's faking it because he knows that I don't be with guys that are not generous. This guy, he was trying so hard to take credit for what he has done for me. He had to make sure that I know this. But we women, we have eyes, we have ears, we have feelings. Of course we know that, of course we see that. So the guy that is trying so hard to take credit, he's just like performing, and then a while after that he said another shit to me, which is so wild. He asked asked me what would happen if he didn't pay for the book. And I was like, I don't know, like I don't be with guys who are not generous anyway. I say that to him, like very confident. That's what you should say. He was trying to test my boundary. He was trying to test what I'm okay with. Like, am I okay with low effort and basically his bullshit or not? So basically, he was testing my boundary using that question. And then the second day ended there with those red flags and the generosity test. And then, well, eventually he asked me on another date 2 weeks later, something like that. For me, I was like, ew, this guy's wasting my time and he's like not worth it and he's so shitty and I wouldn't want to be with a guy like this. But he was asking me on a third date and I think to myself that I would say yes to this date, but then I will cancel it like 1 day before the date just to see how he would react to me saying no and me canceling something. So that's what I did. So we agreed with the actual date, and after that he never came up with a plan, with a time where we're gonna meet, what's the plan, where we're gonna go, or anything like that. So me myself, I thought that he's not going to come up with a plan or time or location, so I would just assume that's not happening, because the last 2 dates he actually came up with a plan and like a time and a location, but this time no. Oh, he doesn't respect me anymore, he doesn't want to put effort anymore. He was like taking off his mask, taking off the mask of him being such a good guy and such a high effort guy, and start testing me like if I'm okay with low effort or not. So of course I'm not okay with that, so I don't initiate anything or even ask about a date. After that I just like ignore it, so I never say cancel because there was no plan to start with. So on the agreed date, 12 p.m, he only texted me, have you ever gone bowling before? He was testing me with a last minute plan, only talked to me about the date on the actual date. I was so disgusted of his low effort behavior. So basically I just told him that I assume it's not going to happen because there were no plans. So I have already prioritized my others confirmed plans. So yeah, that's it. I don't do last minute plans. He thinks that, okay, I have performed enough for the 2 first dates, and this time the third date I'm just going to be low effort. She just probably go with it because I have performed enough already. He thinks like that. And then after I say that, he was saying like, I'm sorry, but insert excuses. I was like, who needs your excuses? Girlies, you have to look for this. If they're sorry, it's like sorry but and then excuse it. It's not a genuine sorry, it's a performative sorry. It's an egotistic sorry. It's filled with this big man-child ego there. So basically he was saying like, I'm sorry, like I didn't know that it should have done that way. So these phrases, look out, I didn't know that, I just thought that, I was busy doing this and that. No, those are excuses, faking it to you. You should never listen to this and think this is a genuine sorry, okay? This guy's answer was, I didn't know that you need this info before the date. I just thought that the activities can be discussed and agreed on the date. Go with the flow vibe. Okay, that's crazy. I was busy with my friends and I was having a barbecue parties with my friends and I was busy with my works and everything like that. Girls, if he wanted to, he would. No, not that. If he doesn't want to, another man would. Why would you settle for that? As soon as I heard his answer and like these long messages about I'm sorry but with excuses, I was like, that's enough. You think that I'm going to be fooled by that? Accept that? No fucking way. So then I don't reply to him anymore, just ignore him, and like I kind of like ghosted him. So fast forward a few days, he texted me like, I wish you're having a great day and let me know if you're not interested anymore, but I would love to see you again. He was like that, and I said to him, sorry, you're not financially my type, and then I blocked him. That's what you should do too, okay? Don't talk so much. They're not going to get into their head and you're just wasting your time. Just block and move on. They don't deserve your attention, you know? And that's the end of my experience with this guy. If you take anything from this story time, please take this. Number 1, never settle for less. If a man really likes you, you wouldn't have to touch one finger or do anything at all. You just have to sit back and relax like the queen that you are, and he will pursue you. You wouldn't have to lift one finger. So never settle for less, because there's always going to be better options out there rather than dusty ass men. Number 2, look out very carefully for his early signs and red flags. Don't ever ignore it. Try to test him as much as possible, because how he treats you now is a preview for how he will treat you in the future, or even worse than that. So never ignore the red flags. Number 3, see the difference between real genuine effort and fake performative effort. There will be small signs, the things that he says, the things that he does. You have to trust your gut, trust your feeling, because most of the time he's just trying to fake it just to get you, just to get your body, okay? The 4th thing is actions over words. If he talks a lot but he does nothing for you, he's not the guy. He talks big but he can't do shit. He's just a yapper. He's never going to do anything for you. Don't date guys for their potential, because it's never going to come. Date them for the realistic version of who they are right now. Last but not least, set your standards and your boundaries and stick to that ground. Don't change that no matter what. If he really likes you, he will align with you. If he doesn't align with you, if he tries to go lower than that, don't accept it, okay? Because the trash is taking itself out. That's the end of my story time of how I met this guy and figured out that he's the trashy dude. Hopefully you found some value and you learned something and you saved your time from dusty ass men. I really hope that you enjoy it, and thank you so much for being here with me, listening to me, hanging out. I really appreciate it. Subscribe to my channel for more self-help, women's empowerment, advice, and lifestyle videos. Comment down below which red flag that I told you here through this story is the biggest red flag to you. Okay, I really want to know your thoughts. Follow me on Instagram and TikTok called Tina for more content from me. I post daily there, and I post every other Tuesday on YouTube and Spotify. Goodbye. See you girlies. See you very soon, okay?